My Edmonton Oilers lost in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals to the Florida Panthers, which conveniently enough caused me a lot of pain, trauma, and depression over the course of the summer. So we're going to be going ahead and winning multiple Stanley Cups with this Oilers roster every single season that they do not take home Lord Stanley. I'm going to be adding one NHL legend from the alumni teams here in 24. I will spin the wheel, and whatever team we land on, I'm allowed to take one alumni player from that roster and add them to the current day Edmonton Oilers. And hopefully we're going to go on and win not just one, but multiple Stanley Cups, making Edmonton a dynasty yet again. Now, we all are pretty familiar with the Edmonton Oilers roster. Obviously, they have the best player in the world in Connor McDavid at a 99. Draisaitl, only a 95, should be a 97. Literally just re-signed for 8 more seasons. Shout out everybody who thought he was going to leave, but he's back. We got Shaq Hyman, former 50-goal scorer, Nuge down the middle with Skinner and Arvidsson. It's a improved roster. Obviously, Holloway and Broberg, I am going to get rid of. This roster is a little bit out of date, so I'll send them off to St. Louis, and then we will build our team from there, simulating. And obviously, if we win the Stanley Cup, good, we can keep going ahead, but we're not going to stop at one. I want multiple cups, and I want to form a dynasty. No surprise here, as the Oilers will finish at the top of the Pacific, 53, 23, and 6, 112 points, and we would end up being the best team in the entire league. Boston was good. Carolina was up there. We got the Toronto Maple Leafs, Nashville, and St. Louis, and at the bottom, the worst team in NHL 24, which was confirmed by my latest video, the Montreal Canadiens. Literally 32 seasons. They did not even win a single cup. Leon Draisaitl is going to have himself a season. 35 goals, 108 points, leading our team, followed by McDavid's 99, also 42 goals. Shaq Hyman put up 38 and 87 points. Bouchard had a bit of a down season. Henrique was actually very good, 22 goals and 49 points. And for Skin Daddy, there it is, 5 shutouts, a 915 save percentage, and 43 wins. Draisaitl will lead the league in scoring with 108 points. Nylander had 101. McDavid was up there. Honestly, the season mode, the overalls need to be higher for EA coming into 25 if they want to simulate accurately. I mean, we only have 2 100-point scorers. Scoring's at an all-time low here. And for goals, I mean, Matthews, he put up 59. Very impressive. Kaprizov at 43. Connor McDavid, 42. Jarrett McCann was up there. Adrian Kempe. And for the goalies, Skinner did not have the most wins. It would go to Frederik Andersen. The most shutouts, though, would go to Sergei Bobrovsky with 6 on the year. And taking a look at the playoff bracket, we are going to play the tough Colorado Avalanche in round number 1. That is a hard-ass series to start off with. And unfortunately, we lost in Game 7, 4-2 to the Avs. Not really too surprising. They do have a tough team. It's usually 50-50 whenever I play them, regardless of the team that I have. Now we do get to go ahead, see who wins the cup, and then see who we're going to add to the Edmonton Oilers. And Colorado went all the way. We did end up losing to the eventual Stanley Cup winning team. Nugent Hopkins was our best player in the first round, 4 goals and 8 points. Jeff Skinner had 7. McDavid was not very good. And where is Leon? Leon Draisaitl. Oh no, only 3 apples in 7 games? Those stats are literally unacceptable. Draisaitl will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews, the Maurice Richard. Morgan Riley will win the Norris. Nathan McKinnon, the Conn Smythe. Anderson, the Vezina. And Ryan O'Reilly, the Selke. All right, so now here we are on the wheel. We will spin it, whatever team we land on, regardless, besides Vegas and Seattle, because they don't have alumni teams. If we do just land on one of those teams, I'll probably end up just respinning. And there we go. Montreal right off the rip. They have a ton of legends to choose from. Let's go ahead and see who I'm going to take. Taking a look at Montreal's alumni team, we could go with a goalie in Patty Waugh, who's a 96 overall. Maurice Richard is there. Jacques Plante, Boulevard, Chris Chelios. I mean, Larry Robinson. They got a lot of good players to choose from, but we got to go with Patrick Waugh. I mean, a 96 overall goalie. Now, heading into our second season, we have a prime Patrick Waugh on the Edmonton Oilers, a 96 overall, so a big upgrade over Stuart Skinner, no offense. Should be able to win even more games than we did last season. I mean, we won the President's Trophy, so there's no excuse to not win a Stanley Cup this season. The Oilers, yet again, I mean, only 48 wins at the top of our division. I thought we would be a lot better. I don't even think we won the President's Trophy. No, we were the 5th best team in the entire league behind Winnipeg, Boston, Carolina, and Dallas. What on earth? With a prime Patrick Waugh, literally just upgraded our goalie, and somehow we got worse. Connor McDavid will have a bounce back year, 56 goals, 135 points. Draisaitl only had 97. Bouchard was a little bit better. Skinner, I mean, 25 goals. goals. Shaq Hyman only had 34. Nuge had a very bad season. And if we take a look at Waugh here, he only had a 909. Skinner was literally better than a 96 Patrick Waugh. This is why goalie overalls are literally meaningless in this game. Patrick Waugh only a 909, who was a 96 overall. But Stuart Skinner last season put up a 915 with also 5 shutouts. McDavid will go ahead and have the most goals in the NHL with 56, and he had the most points at 135. Makar put up 101. Kopitar had 99 at age 36. Kevin Fiala was good. Draisaitl was up there. Kyle Connor, Nathan McKinnon. Crosby at 36, 35 goals and 91 points. And for the goalies, Jake Ottinger and Jeremy Swayman will tie for the most wins at 44, and the most shutouts will go to Joseph Wall and Sergei Bobrovsky. And now in the first round, we have an easy matchup with the Arizona Coyotes, a team that we should absolutely demolish, so hopefully we can do that. There is literally no way the Arizona Coyotes just bullied us in the first round in 5 games. What is going on, Edmonton? The New York Rangers would go on, dummy Colorado in 5 games in the finals to take home the Stanley Cup. I have no idea how we lost in 5 games to Arizona. That is so embarrassing. Individually, I mean, I'm guessing we weren't very good. McDavid had 6 points in 5 games, and there it is. Kane had 3. Everybody else pretty much had 3. So we did not have a lot of offensive output. Patrick Waugh was decent. A 910 save percentage isn't bad, but also at a 96 overall, I do expect a little bit better than that. I literally have no idea. Like, how do we lose to Arizona like that? McDavid is the best player of all time. We know that. Cale Makar, the Norris, the Conn Smythe, the Breadman, Logan Thompson, the Vezina, and we got McDavid taking home the Selke. We are now back on the wheel for the second time. We got Montreal last time, and now let's see what team we are going to land on. Head to their alumni team, and ooh, the St. Louis Blues. I mean, I guess that's a mid-alumni team to get, but they do have a few players that are going to catch my eye. St. Louis technically does have Wayne Gretzky at a 97 overall. We could snag him or Chris Pronger. They got Brett Hull here, Al McGinnis, Grant Fuhr. I mean, I think I'm going to wait. I mean, Gretzky did play with St. Louis technically, but I'm not going to take him. I don't associate the great one in a St. Louis Blues uniform. So Chris Pronger, welcome to the Edmonton Oilers. Now taking a look at our decor, we got a nice 92 overall Chris Pronger, who is a defensive defenseman. Literally the perfect defenseman to play alongside Evan Bouchard, as our decor definitely got a lot better now over the offseason. If you guys are excited for NHL 25, or if you're not excited, also like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Make sure you turn on notifications so you get notified every time I go live and when I post videos, which conveniently enough is every single day. Yet again, the Oilers had somewhat of a disappointing season, 50, 24, and 8, only 108 points, second in our division, as Nashville with Steven Stamkos will win the President's Trophy. We got Boston up there, as well as Vancouver, Edmonton, New Jersey, and Dallas, and at the bottom, the now relocated Arizona Coyotes. Connor McDavid will put up 51 goals, 121 points. Bouchard had 76. Draisaitl had a very bad season, only 23 goals and 63 points. Jeff Skinner was decent. Arvidsson, Nugent Hopkins, and if we take a look at our goalie, Patty Waugh, he had 5 shutouts, but only a 903. I'm expecting way more out of a 96 overall goalie. I swear, the higher overall you have as a goalie, the worse they perform. McDavid, yet again, will lead the league in goal scoring. He had 51 tucks on the season and in points with 121. Quinn Hughes had 93, Stammer 88 on Nashville. Kyle Connor was good. Jack Hughes had a hell of a season. I mean, Forsberg was good also on the goal side. I mean, Matthews 49, Verhaeghe 39, Timo Meier had 36, and Andrei Svechnikov 35. And now in round number 1, we get the classic matchup of Edmonton versus LA, where we absolutely bully them in probably 4 games. We beat them in 7, beat them in 6, beat them in 5. It's time to sweep their asses. We finally won a playoff series, beating the Kings in Game 7, and now we face the St. Louis Blues in round number 2, who did qualify an offer sheet, not only Dylan Holloway, but also Philip Broberg, so there is some sort of built-in rivalry here. Dominated the Poverty Blues in round number 2, and now we have a battle of Canada between the Jets and the Oilers in the conference finals, and here we go. It is revenge time. The Oilers-Panthers Stanley Cup Finals. We know what happened in real life. It's time to beat them. It's time to get the job done. It's time to win Connor McDavid a Stanley Cup. The Oilers are leading 3-1 in this series, 2-1 in the game. And we are now 10 minutes away from Lord Stanley, our first cup in the McDavid era, first of many, hopefully. Please, Edmonton, shut the door. Patrick Waugh and Chris Pronger. Here we are in Edmonton, Alberta, 25 seconds away from seeing the Oilers raise their first cup in the McDavid era. McDavid, there he is, dominating down low to the mom killer, Corey Perry. I'm stuttering my words. I don't even care. 15 seconds to go. And we got an empty net for the Florida Panthers. Chris Pronger, great defense there. Give him his stick, dude. Forsling. And there's Patrick Waugh making the save as the Edmonton Oilers are going to go on in year number 3 and become Stanley Cup champions. Adding Chris Pronger and Patrick Waugh is all it takes for the best team in the NHL to finally get the job done. McDavid gets his first, Draisaitl his first, Nugent Hopkins his first, Zach Hyman gets his first cup as well. So many firsts on this team. I feel like a virgin right now. And obviously the Conn Smythe winner will go to Connor McDavid. 10 goals, 31 points, the best player of all time and the best player on our team. It was really not even close. Draisaitl maybe has a shot at winning the Stanley Cup, but nobody else on this team could compete with the great one, Connor McDavid. And there it is, the Stanley Cup about to be raised to Edmonton. A forecast of what's going to happen at the end of the 2025 season. Mark my words, as Captain Connor for the first time ever will be able to raise Lord Stanley, but we're not done yet. It is time to create a dynasty here in Edmonton. Now in the postseason, McDavid obviously won the Conn Smythe. He had 31 points. Draisaitl 23, Hyman 15, Nuge had 15, and Victor Arvidsson 12. And what did Patty Waugh do here? There it is, a 9-31 and a 16-5-1 record. Connor McDavid is in fact Connor McDavid. The Norris will go to Roman Josi, the Conn Smythe to McDavid, Jeremy Swayman, the Vezina, and the Selke will also go to Connor McDavid, who had himself a season. The Oilers will have a great regular season, 55, 24, and 3. If we take a look at the entire NHL here, Tampa Bay was the best team, winning one less game than us, but they had one more point. Obviously, we were up there. We got the Florida Panthers, the Winnipeg Jets, the Rangers, and the Islanders. McDavid will have only 32 goals and 87 points, so really not that good of a season. Draisaitl had 82, Hyman only 74 and 34 goals. Nugent Hopkins was good. Obviously, we didn't add anybody because we didn't lose, but as we go along here, the more we lose, the more players we're going to add. 7 shutouts and a 915 save percentage for Patrick Waugh. Braden Point will lead the league in scoring. He had 105 points, followed by Kucherov's 100. Breadman had 93, Pasternak 90, and on the goal side, Matthews, or should I say Tommy Ake, had 51, Pasta 46, McKinnon had 41, Draisaitl 38, and if we take a look at the goalies, obviously Waugh had the most wins at 55, and the most shutouts will go to Thatcher Demko, who had 9 on the season, also a 920 save percentage, so a very good year from Demko, who literally is not going to be ready for opening night for the Vancouver Canucks. And now in round number 1, we are going to welcome the newest team to the NHL in Seattle to an absolutely ass whooping here in the first round. The Oilers got to pick up the pace a little bit here. Game 7 in the first round against Seattle. They're leading 4-2 now. Oh my God, an insurance marker by Kartai. I don't even know who that guy is. Some bum from the AHL. Regardless, I mean, 7 minutes to go. The Oilers get us back to within 1, and I will hop into this game. Please, just score 1 goal. All I need is 1 goal, Edmonton. No! The New Jersey Devils will take home Lord Stanley as they defeat Vancouver in 5 games in the finals. We knew Vancouver was not going to win the cup. They're just not cup worthy, honestly. Individually, I don't think we did very good. I mean, McDavid had 5 goals and 7 points in the first round. Evander Kane had 4, Perry 4. Yeah, Nugent Hopkins wasn't very good. And where's Leon? Leon's having a tough time here in the postseason. Back on the wheel yet again, this time with a Stanley Cup under our belt, but we do got to add more players to the roster, so here we go. Who are we going to land on? It looks like we're going to get the Dallas Stars alumni team, so let's go ahead and see what players they have. Now for Dallas, we could take a sniper in Brett Hall, who's a 92 overall, Mike Modano, El Belfort, Zubov. Yeah, I'm going to take Brett Hall. He's a 92 overall. Welcome to Edmonton. We just added a perfect sniper alongside Connor McDavid. Now for the Edmonton Oilers, we're going to have a dynamite first line of Hall, McDavid, and Draisaitl. Then we have Skinner alongside Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. Adam Henrique will center Victor Arvidsson and Evander Kane, as we are the best forward core in the entire NHL. Edmonton at the end of the season will put up 57 wins, 21 losses, 4 in overtime, at the top of the Pacific and the entire league, obviously. Toronto was very good, as well as the Devils. We got the Dallas Stars up here, the Rangers. Shout out to the mid LA Kings, who haven't won a playoff series since 15, and the San Jose Sharks. were the worst team in the league at only 31 wins. Holy hell, Connor McDavid busted his nut all over the league. 53 goals, 147 points. Brett Hull had 50 goals and 93 points. Draisaitl was very good, as well as Bouchard. Hyman had a good season. Skinner. And for Patrick Waugh, I mean, only 3 shutouts and a .910 save percentage, but he's getting the job done. McDavid will have the most goals at 53 and the most points at 147. Nobody else even had 100 points on the season. Your mom's a hoe had 98, Brett Hull 93, Willie Stiles 91, Breadman 89. And for the goals, I mean, we had 3 50-goal scorers in Matthews, Brett Hull, and Connor McDavid. Everybody else was an absolute bum. Patty Waugh led the league in wins with 45, and for shutouts, it will go to Samuel Montembeault, who had 7. And it is time for us to get a revenge over Arizona, who dominated us a few seasons ago in 5 games. It's revenge time. I thought the saying was, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, can't get fooled again. What is this? We lose again in 5 games to the Arizona Coyotes. I guess they just have our number. We're getting bullied by a team that literally got relocated. The Boston Bruins will avenge 2013 and take home their first Stanley Cup since 11, beating the Dallas Stars in Game 7. The Oilers were fucking shite, mate. A little shite of a thing, and nobody. They're all too fucking small. We still have McDavid winning all the awards. Quinn Hughes will win the Norris, the Charlie McAvoy, the Conn Smythe, Aiden Hill, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to McDavid, so I guess we got to go back to the wheel and get better. All right, we're back on the wheel yet again. We got to spin, and hopefully we get a good team like Edmonton, maybe Pittsburgh would be another great team, and it looks like we're landing on the Tampa Bay Lightning alumni team, who do have a few juicy choices that I could possibly take to my roster. We got Savard, Marty St. Louis, Brad Richards, Dan Boyle. I think I gotta go with Marty, man. Defied all odds. Welcome to Edmonton. You and your giant ass quads are now members of the Edmonton Oilers. Marty will slot in very nicely alongside not Leon Draisaitl, but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Shaq Hyman on that second line. We're still gonna roll with Hall, McDavid, and Draisaitl. And I mean, take a look at our top 6. It is absolutely filthy. Edmonton will win 59 games in the season, as we were the best team in the entire NHL. I don't know why we're not translating into the playoffs, but it is. It is what it is. We got Florida being up there with 52 wins. The Rangers were good. Colorado and the Vancouver Cucks. McDavid will only have 49 goals. He did have 148 points. I mean, 99 apples, almost a hundo in the season. Brett Hull had 58 goals, dear God. Also 95 points. Draisaitl had 90, St. Louis 64, Hyman 59, and for Patty Waugh, 45 wins, 3 shutouts, and only a .906 save percentage. Patrick Waugh has not even simulated. He hasn't had a single season that was better than the one season we had with Stuart Skinner. Skinder or Skinner? I don't even know what I'm saying. Connor McDavid right now is raw dogging the NHL. I mean, Brett Hull had the most goals at 58, McDavid the most points at 148. Also, we are not translating to the playoffs. I don't know why. If we take a look at the goalies, though, UC Saros, most wins at 46, and Jake Ottinger will have the most shutouts at 9. And now we have the St. Louis Blues in round number 1 of the postseason. Shout out Ronnie Coleman, because that was absolutely light work in the first round. And now we have the Vancouver Cucks in round number 2. Dominated Vancouver just like we should, sweeping their ass. And now we have Stammer and the Nashville Predators in the conference finals. Also, shout out Patrick Waugh for putting up 3 straight shutouts to close out the Vancouver Canucks in round number 2. Dude is an absolute unit. And now finally we've reached the pinnacle of the NHL, which are the Stanley Cup Finals for the second time in the video, up against the New York Rangers, who are a good team, but we should clearly be the favorite, as we have dominated our way through the postseason so far. And there we go. The Oilers will get it done in 5 games of the New York Rangers, winning their second Stanley Cup of the video. Not yet cementing himself as a dynasty. We still have to win 1 more to be considered one. But overall, I mean, we added legends to our team, and we were able to go on and yet again win the Stanley Cup, dominating the fucking bleeding Rangers, mate. They were too small. The Conn Smythe winner will be Connor McDavid yet again. 12 goals, 36 points. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, we knew McDavid was going to take home the Conn Smythe. He's a 99 overall in the game, best player in the world. And there it is, Lord Stanley, the Stanley Cup being presented to Edmonton yet again. I threw on the alternates to have a different scenery in the background here, as McDavid now is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. I might honestly bust a nut. McDavid, I mean, he had one hell of a postseason run. Brett Hall was very good. Draisaitl was good. And even Marty St. Louis chipped in. And for Patrick Waugh, there it is, a 935. And that is the reason why we won the Stanley Cup and why we were so good. McDavid will take home the Selke, Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy, while Brett Hall will win the Maurice Richard, Cale Makar, the Norris, the Conn Smythe, Alston, McDavid. We got Bob winning the Vezina, and the Selke, I mean, it went to McDavid. Now, obviously, we're not going to be adding any more players to the team because we did win the Stanley Cup, but hopefully we can go on and win back-to-back titles and be our third of the video so far. Edmonton 21-10. I thought we would be a little bit better than that. Edmonton at the end of the year will put up 55 wins, 24 losses, 3 in overtime. Another great season, as we should, as we try to go back-to-back. Nashville was actually better than us. I guess they won the season series as we had the same amount of points, 113. Kyle Connor will have the most goals. He might have had the most. He did have the most goals, 48 on the season. He also had the most points at 91. Cale Makar had 91 also. Jonathan Marchizzo had 89. Pasternak was good. If we take a look at the goals side, I mean, Marchizzo 43. Matthews, tummy ache. He had a tummy ache the whole season. Brett Hall only had 35, so the scoring wasn't that high. And now, again, we got the Avs in round number 1 of the postseason. Thank God we got through the Avs in, I believe, 5 games in the first round, as we now face the Vegas Cheaters in round number 2. And now we are in the conference finals facing the Nashville Predators. We dummied the Cheaters. It is what it is. Who gives a shit? Now we have a rematch with the New York Rangers. We made it in the finals last season against them. We beat them, obviously. And now it's time to win our 3rd Stanley Cup of the video and cement ourselves as a dynasty here in NHL 24. Oh, I messed up. I didn't have time to hop in and see the Oilers bag another Stanley Cup. We beat the New York Rangers in 7 games, but I didn't get the presentation, so we are going to go one more season in hopes of actually going on and winning a Stanley Cup and hopping in to see it as well. Also, yes, I'm going to spin the wheel. I'm going to add one more player to the team, and hopefully that will be enough to make us the greatest team of all time. McDavid will lead the playoffs in scoring, only 5 goals but 26 points. Jeff Skinner had 21, Brett Hall 20. He also had 11 goals. Marty St. Louis had 20. And if we take a look at Patrick Waugh, a 925. Now, Patty Waugh, he hasn't been good in the regular season, but he's been lights out in the playoffs. Now, just for funsies, I know we did win the Stanley Cup, but this is our final season, so I want to spin the wheel, and I want to add one more player to the Edmonton Oilers, and it will be one of the alumni players from the New York Rangers. Now, obviously, the Rangers do have the great one, Wayne Gretzky. They also have Mark Messier, Brian Leetch, but we have to reunite Wayne in Edmonton. Welcome to the Oilers yet again. This is probably the weirdest thing I've encountered so far in the video. We've been adding players since like the beginning of year number 1, and we've capped off at a 95 overall. It looks like our team can't get any better than a 95. I guess that's the cap hit for a team to be statistically. And now here we are in the final season. This is what our forward core looks like. We have the great one with McDavid and Brett Hall, Marty St. Louis alongside Draisaitl and Nuge. We got Skinner, Henrique, and Hyman. And then finally Perry, Phillip, and Kane defensively. No, that's team strategies. What am I doing defensively? We got Pronger and Bouchard, Kulak, Ekholm, Nurse, and Troy Stetcher. And then in goal, a 96 overall Patrick Waugh. The Edmonton Oilers will win the President's Trophy and have their best season so far. 65, 14, and 3, 133 points. We should be able to translate very nicely into the playoffs. Connor McDavid will have the most points in the entire NHL with 147, and the most goals will go to Connor Bedard, tying McDavid as a rookie, as an 18-year-old rookie as well, as Bedsy definitely is doing his thing. And now in round number 1 of the playoffs, we got to face Stammer and the Nashville Predators. We swept the Nashville Predators in round number 1, and now we face Vancouver in the second round. And now we move on to the conference finals where we face the Dallas Stars. We have an undefeated record heading into the Stanley Cup Finals as we face the New York Rangers yet again for a 3rd season in a row. Hopefully, we can stay undefeated and go down in the history books as the greatest team in NHL history. Here we go in Game 7. It's all up to this. A 2-1 lead for the Rangers. We got to come back. Not only come back, but also win this game. Otherwise, we're not going to be able... Oh, my God. Mika Zibanejad. No. Are we really going to lose to the Rangers? Oh, they're going to get their revenge to a 4-5-1 lead now. Jones 6-1. We're just getting pummeled. we're getting absolutely pummeled. An embarrassment of a Game 7 for the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, McDavid pretty much carried us. He had 10 goals and 32 points. Brett Hall had 25. Gretzky only 18. The great one was not that great, to be honest. McDavid will win literally all of the awards. Adam Fox will take home the Norris, also the Conn Smythe, Patrick Waugh the Vezina. Well, that will do it for the Edmonton Oilers dynasty here in 24. We did win 3 Stanley Cups. Obviously, I didn't get the third one, the presentation-wise, on video, but we still won it nonetheless. We got the job done. We added a bunch of legends to the team, to an already very good hockey team, and we absolutely dominated before the final. Besides the final season, as we did lose to the New York Rangers. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you do leave some support on it. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.